people could tell me, that had pretty much stopped with this last year of the social studies. Am I correct? Because they weren't making those changes as we went along. You could stick with your lesson plans and be fine with it. I don't know where you're getting your information, but I know that I've gotten this other information. And
when I printed them, I mean, it shows.
But who's to say that you did not have access to how did you get access to?
I pulled this last week off Texas Tribune. It shows you.
Wait. How did you get the previous lesson that had been changed?
Oh, well, it took me a long time. Some of the lessons weren't changed the entire, like some had 10 pages, so maybe 5 pages were tweaked. So I would go through, and you could see the original. Some of them were from 2007. I have it all written down.
But that means that's the old curriculum.
Right. But
that's the old standards.
Tweaked. No, not
yes,
the standards.
2007.
No, but not the front. No, that's
okay, hang on. One at a time.
Come on, Ms.
One at a time.
I understand that.
Slow her down.
Yeah, Pat, let her
explain. Yeah, let the parent
so let me ask you, the new standards, when did they put the new standards in place?
A year and a half ago.
Okay, well, these were, great. But these were changed on 4/22/13. So it does, I understand that there's new standards, but this is after those new standards. In fact, this is after they were supposed to make it private. And not only that, within less than a month, over almost 300 lessons were changed. Just, different parts of them were changed in social studies, and that's right after, I don't know, coincidence, take what you want, after 1406 passed the Senate and was sent over to the House. Okay, well, you can disagree with me, but I'm telling you what the dates are. You can't change these dates. There's no way.
We'll remember Miss Knight's admonishment to
Oh, sorry. I apologize.
No, that's okay.
Mr. Riley.
Marty.
I know, but Miss Knight.
Mr. Matt Riley, I would, all due respect, I'd like to speak.
Miss Knight, will you yield your time?
I will yield my time to my colleague.
Okay,
I want to thank, what school district?
Flower Bluff.
Flower Bluff.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for coming as a parent and speaking out, okay, and standing up where you feel is right for your children. And you should not be put in a situation where you are being put down in this public arena. I applaud you for coming. I applaud everyone for coming, okay? And I know exactly what you're talking about, okay? We have seen, with all due respect, of the CSCOPE, the way it was developed was dysfunctional from the get-go. It's becoming we're becoming aware of that. Developing curriculum and lesson plans has been going on forever, okay? And teachers usually get together and develop their lesson plans, okay, from the standards, okay? And it's very normal, okay? So but these lesson plans that were developed not in an open area or an open process, a transparent process. And then they had, the teachers had to sign something to say they couldn't reveal this to the parent. And that is certainly wrong and against the law. And then, of course, all the other issues of the nonprofit and everything like that, okay, started, and it came out in that public hearing in January under Senator Dan Patrick. Okay, when all of it came out, all the flaws, if you will, of CSCOPE, maybe conceptually, way back when they first began, they thought, well, this is a really good idea to help small school districts, help the teachers, to script a lesson plan. Okay, so, and now they're pulling down some of the controversials that were biased, very definitely biased lesson plans, okay? If they're going to teach, like you were talking about that particular time in history, then they need to explain the whole thing, just like you were explaining. Don't just give them a piece of it and say how tolerant they are, okay? Tell them the whole gamut, okay? That sort of thing. And that's been my concern as well as my constituents' concern where I come from. Okay?
Especially since it pertains to today.
Yes.
It's happening again today.
Right.
So I want you, thank you for the compliments, I appreciate that, but I want y'all to know that I do not think, especially at my school, that there's an indoctrination for my kids. I don't I don't believe that. I think that you have the best, y'all really want what's best for our kids. I know it's true with teachers and the school board and the superintendent, although I just think that we have such a free-for-all with content comes in, and there's not a safety net. And I have the relationship with the school, and this has been a learning experience where I can say, look, this is, what do you think about this? We're not, and as parents, we should do that. So it's okay. And I don't mind that they've changed the lessons if they saw there was a problem. That's what I wanted you to do. However, don't change them in April and in May, and then put them out in August and say, look at these lessons. They're fantastic. See, fire's not over here. I don't know what they're talking about. And present them as if they've always been this way. So now when someone's going to look at the lessons, they're going to go, whoa. And they conveniently moved all the pro-American ones up because they're very pro-American now, which I love. Of course I love, and I'm glad they made the changes. But don't put them up there and say, this is how they've always been. And people assume then that, we're on a witch hunt, which was not, because if there was nothing wrong with these lessons, they wouldn't have been edited again. They just wouldn't have. And
They edit
I
all the
just,
time.
ma'am, I'm sorry, but I would be happy to show you when they were edited. I have all the dates down of the original and when they were edited. Another thing, I'm sorry,
Well, Ms. Sands, if a